My name is Robert Murphy. I bought a membership in 1964. Actually started on the trading floor full-time June 1st, 1965. I got into it because I was originally in a cash brokerage business and I was an expert on pork. To show you how things go, when I was introduced to the membership committee, Bill Katz was the chairman. Mr. Katz looked at me and said, "Mr. Murphy, we're glad to have a beef broker of your capabilities joining the exchange." I said, "That's very nice, but I'm not a beef broker. I'm a pork broker. I deal solely in pork." And Mr. Katz hesitated a second and said, "Mr. Murphy, we're glad to have a pork broker of your capabilities joining the exchange." Anyhow, at that time, you could walk in off the street and walk right up to the trading pit, and everybody was standing around. If you only had one foot in the trading pit, you could have a cigarette in your hand. If you had both feet in, you might have a cigarette in your hand, but it was pretty casual. It was really, really pretty easy to get along with. Well, I think the most important thing a trader learns is you have to protect yourself at all times, and you can't be absolute. You have to have an open mind, and you have to be able to say, "I think I'm wrong, it's time to get out," without crippling yourself or without absolutely getting yourself crushed. I think probably the funniest thing I ever saw in the exchange was at 110 Franklin, where Lenny Feldman, in the cattle pit, for whatever reason, decided it was time to moon the visitors gallery, turned around, bent over, and pulled his pants and shorts down. And I would say then, maybe after that, in the belly pit, with Ira Zeidman, Ira had an order to buy 200 loads, and he's going in, and he knew he was pushing the market a little bit, so he's trying to buy people he did business with. He's buying 50, 20, and Danny Crone, who was at that time kind of a newcomer, Danny was a little crazy. Danny was waving at him. One. Well, you're buying 200 loads, the last thing you need is some guy, one. All you gotta do is mess up your count. So Ira bought nothing from Danny and bought the 200 in the pit. And Danny's, at that point, holding his finger maybe an inch away from Zeidman's nose, screaming at him, "How about me? How about me?" And with that, Ira went, "Ugh!" and bit his finger. Danny pulled a fist back and pulled his arm back, and he was going to really whack Ira. And Lou Mata, who was kind of like a policeman, Lou stopped it and ended the whole deal. So, but I've had I love the trading floor. I used to love the life on the trading floor. I still like everything about it. I think it's the greatest business in the world. That there's always something you say, "Oh, I never ever heard of that one happening before. This is impossible. This is unheard of." And yet, it happens on a regular basis. That's the way our thing goes. I would say, as far as charity is concerned, charities I'm kind of remiss, but I would say of all the ones I'm familiar with, Misericordia would be the best as far as I'm concerned. Glad to have this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.